wow, that's a lot of damage. So he's got the 2 lightning bolts. And this Death Prophet essentially lost half her health already. Holy smokes. Okay, this build is actually insane. It does so much damage. This game, we got a replay of OG Topson playing Zeus middle. Not something that you normally see, but maybe this is a game where we can learn how he lanes and his movements with Zeus. Is one of my favorite heroes to play, so I would love to learn how he does it. Starting build, he's got double circlets and mantle, so he's got a lot of stats actually, plus 8 int, so that's going to give him a little bit more right click damage. He also bought a fairy fire, which also gives him more right click damage, and in clutch situations where he's low health or someone's diving him, he can just click that, heal himself up. So level 1, he actually goes for the lightning bolt. Interesting, and he's focusing a lot on last hitting, on just getting the right clicks in, right in the lane. Like normally what you see is, or what I do is I go to arc lightning level 1, and then I try to just keep getting last hits with that. But instead he goes for the lightning bolt. When he lightning bolts the enemy mid laner, he can also find the wards. I think that's his idea behind that. So you can see in the lane here, he just like comes in, uses his branch, eats a tangle up. Just like very regular mid gameplay. And he's even going for the static field on level 2. Which is very interesting. Like, I have never seen something like this. Or I've never done something like this is what I should say. Where like I just don't get arc lightning. So he's just playing the mid lane as if like he doesn't have arc lightning and like, or he doesn't have a spell to last it with. He's just like trying to outlast the opponent just through his base damage. And he's got 71 base damage, which is kind of nice. And whenever he's full mana, he'll probably just chuck out a lightning bolt onto the Death Prophet just so that his mana regen could keep regening up, I guess. He's not actually getting as many last hits as he would if he had the arc lightning, I would feel like. Like one of those arc lightnings could have actually netted him 2 kills or 2 oh wow, that's a lot of damage. So he's got the 2 lightning bolts, and this Death Prophet essentially lost half her health already. Holy smokes. Okay, this build is actually insane. It does so much damage. And the other thing is, if you have arc lightning, it'll push out the lane, and you'll also start burning mana and not really like doing a lot to the enemy Death Prophet as well. So he's just using the lightning bolt to push out the DP from the lane, and he's just using his right clicks to like get all the last hits instead of using the arc lightning to get last hits with. And he's also bought a null talisman. He's queued up another null talisman, so he's not even going for the bottle right away. He bought 3 mangoes there, so he's really playing for the lane and try to win the lane. He dropped all his stat items. He mangoed up twice, so he's got a bunch of mana here. This DP just needs to keep on bringing out regen the way that Topson is playing. So level 4, he hasn't skilled anything up yet. Very interesting. And he actually goes for the level 2 static field. What? This is actually crazy. He's just not skilling his arc lightning whatsoever. And he just keeps bolt lightning the Death Prophet with the bunch of mangoes that he has. So I haven't played Dota for like 8 or 9 months. I don't know if this is normal or not to watch Zeus do this, but it's very interesting and I'm a huge fan of it. His last hits are not that high because, like I said, no arc lightning. Like this is normally the spell that nets you most of the last hits. But this Death Prophet does feel a lot of pressure in the sense that she needs to keep on bringing out Flask all the time to keep her full everything. Now he's brought Flask out and even more mangoes. So he's bought 2 more mangoes again. It's just like Topson is just a mango eater. And this way, he kind of just guarantees that he will be like getting all the experience in the lane regardless. Because the DP can't just stay in the lane and keep denying all the creeps if Topson just keeps nuking her. And now he's got the level 3 lightning bolt. There's a lot of damage coming out here. And he actually ate all his mangoes, but the Kato comes in and gives him a little bit more mana. So that gives him 1 more bolt. And now the DP really cannot stay in the lane. DP's gonna go back and get the bounty rune. Meanwhile, while the DP is always like running around getting the runes, this lane is all Topson's and just keeps last inning and denying whatever he can. He's almost level 6 now. So, ooh. And he actually gonna get the kill here. Oh, no, he doesn't. The DP gets the kill. The Kato was there to help. So the DP got all the XP. Zeus didn't get any XP here, but that's okay because now he gets to go back to base, get full everything. Also has his bottle now. So he didn't finish his second now Talisman, he just got the stats. It's a lot of int. Very nice. And now that he's got a bottle, he can also start looking for the runes. So DP gets a regen rune here, so it's gonna feel kind of bad for Topson here, like to try and keep vaulting him because he can just pop that regen and go back to full HP at any given time. But I can see now, like, the DP isn't really enjoying staying in the lanes, like, looking to, like, move around and go somewhere else if needed. Because, the Zeus just keep vaulting and keeping DP low HP feels really bad. Here it is, he's level 6. He doesn't have a TP up yet. He's probably just farming a bit more to get level 7 to get the Arc Lightning or the Bolt level 2. So net worth wise, DP is a little bit ahead, but the DP did get the kill. So just saving Zeus, saving the lightning, saving the ultimate. Looking at the fights, seeing what happens. Sees a very low HP Phantom Assassin, pops his ultimate. So as a Zeus, it's like very important that you're always looking around the map when you have your ult up and when there's a fight engaging. Like if you can see, if you look on the minimap, you see like people playing aggressively, you already know like, oh, I gotta look at this and see where I can actually cast my ulti. This is 100% a build, but it's common, I see. So here it is. This DP just can't stay in the lane anymore, right? Like the way that you play, he's playing this lane is like in the early game, he wasn't getting so many last hits, and now he gets ganked by the Phantom Assassin, who just revived. So in the early game, he's not getting a lot of last hits because he doesn't have Arc Lightning, but in the mid game of the laning stage, or the mid laning stage, like once he gets level 5, he's a super strong beast with Lightning Bolt. And essentially, nobody can actually lane this Zeus in the mid lane once he gets this skill upgraded. And the reason why he didn't go for the Arc Lightning and he went for the level 2 static field is because if you use your Arc Lightning, you already don't have mana because you're always spamming Lightning Bolt. So you won't have mana to spam more Lightning Bolts if you have to use your Arc Lightning. And you can see here he just gets more clarities now in bottle. He's just staying mid lane the entire time. He's not really moving around because he notices that top lane and bottom lane, they're already doing very well, right? The Ember is like essentially free farm level 8. Top lane is a Beastmaster Kato, they already took the top tower. So he's just making sure that nobody actually takes his mid tower at this time. And he's just playing in a very defensive position as well, so that if people do come here, like his team can react to it. So Pangolier goes in, the Shadow Shaman is already ready behind him. And the Zeus is just like trying his best to like cast spells and stop and stop the enemy from being able to run away. But unfortunately, there was just too many heroes for Dire and died there. But the idea is there where like his positioning and him always asking people to like come by mid lane because he knows that he can't actually see anyone. Holy smokes, that damage is crazy. This is a freaking Rubik with 800 HP. Bolt again because of the Coddle giving chakra magic to the Zeus. That's incredible. He just instantly killed that Rubik. It was Coddle Zeus combo. Kind of crazy. But here he gets energy booster. And always making sure the mid lane is pushed out. Like the most common thing from all these mid laners is they always try to make sure like their mid tower doesn't die like super fast. Oh, wow, it was a nice juicy stack for him too. So here the DP uses Exorcism, he uses Glyph to defend the tower for a little bit. And then just because like the DP went a little bit out of position and the Ember already set up here, like this DP just gets completely blown up after that. And you can just see like he's just playing with his team. Whenever his team is there and they run in front of him, he's just chilling in the back, casting spells. Like all you have to do, especially with Zeus, is like start lightning bolting people. And after 2 levels in static field, he's already starting to skill the Arc Lightning now. And his first items after the Arcane Boots is going for the more range, more abilities to just chill back and cast more skills in the fight without being in danger of dying is very important. So Like you see here, like look at the angle that he's coming from, right? Like this is actually very important when you play heroes like Zeus. He's just like, he's always letting his team go in first, and he's always coming in late. Because Zeus is not a hero who can like tank a lot. So here, the enemy is like, their vision is focusing the cores of Radiant, and not the Zeus, right? So the moment that he notices people are going for him, excuse me, the moment that he notices people are going for him, he starts running back. But whenever they turn around on someone else on his team, he's always turning to them and starting to cast spells. And just like that, it's like always, it's like the teabag concept, right? He's like, you always want to make them look at you, and when they look at you, you run away. When they're not looking at you, you run at them. And it's always super annoying for enemies to fight that way, because they don't know like who to focus. And just like that, all of a sudden, Radiant has full map control. He's 5, 3, and 7. He's got those early deaths in the laning stage, but that's okay. But now he's got to the point in the game where he's got these like super long range spell casting for his items. He's got plenty of mana regen. He went back to base. He healed up to full, always ready to fight. Here he even bait out a Death Prophet ultimate. He wasn't really expecting that probably. And he TP'd back to the mid lane. You can see how like he didn't TP back to base and like have to run to the team. He TP'd back to the mid lane so he can connect to the team right away after that. And because the DP used ulti, Radiant go straight into the Roshan pit. They know that no one on Dire can fight anymore. And he's just chilling. It's like Zeus is a very straightforward hero if you can get into this stage in the game where you have like very high experience. He's got like super good spells. At this point, he just needs to chill in the back and just cast skills in them. You can see he's just walking around with his team, right? The Beastmaster is the stun on his team, and he's just following the Beastmaster around and just trying to play with him, push towers with him, take fights with him. And his Ember was the one who went to like farm on his own because he has more mobility, but he feeds bottom lane. And here he goes to the mid lane and drags the creep wave out. So this way, like the enemy can't be split pushing all at the same. And he just keeps doing that. He just keeps cutting waves and like killing all the creeps that he sees instantly. This arc lightning spell, now that it's maxed out, it just kills the waves in like 3 shots. It's so nice. It's actually so fast at farming. And here he gets caught out by the Bane. Yeah, I'll go on him, and he will straight up die here. But on the other side, his team is taking the fight. That's why this team couldn't come help him here, because they were already going on the Death Prophet on the right side and the Phantom Assassin. So the 2 other cores died while he died on the left side here. The 3 cores died while he died on the left side. Let's see if he can just go straight into the high ground. And now his next item, instead of Blink, he gets Boots of Travels because his team has already like pushed the lane out middle, and they're already like in a very aggressive position, and they have a lot of map control to cover. So you can just buy Boots of Travels at that point because they have so much map control to cover, or map to cover. Like it's not effective for you to just walk around with brown boots at that point and just a Blink dagger when you know that you need to keep pushing lane. But here he notices that the Kato is getting jumped, and just to get vision, he casts his ultimate to see like everybody where they are. And then he notices that there's too many heroes here, and there's a 5th hero TPing in, so he just like backs off after that. Always respecting enemy positioning. If Beastmaster is not in position to like tank for him, he's not gonna just run in and fight. Here the Ember dies too, so it kind of feels awkward because like his heroes are dying on the map. So he's just gonna stick around with his Beastmaster and go and D-ward. Like this spell can D-ward, right? It can see invisible wards and stuff, invisible. So it's really nice to do that if you know where their vision is already. Or you might think where their ward. And you can just see like in this game, he just non-stop pushing lanes out with his Zeus wherever he goes. But he's always trying to move around with the Beastmaster if possible, since the Beastmaster is the stun, the tempo controller, and the Beastmaster needs damage to kill people. And you can see he's just like kind of going in the back, like he's not the one leading the charges in any way. The only time he's died in this game, and there it is, gonna catch this Rubik. But the only time he's died in this game was in the lanes, and when he was not behind his teammates. So every time he was not behind his teammates, like he just died, right? So since then he's learned like, okay, I just gotta hang out with the boys or just push lanes out here. So he has boosted travels. He's the one who goes bottom to shut the lane up, and then he will TP to top lane and fight with his team. So it seems like he's not even needed to go fight with his team, and here it is. He TPs in. And Pangolier ult is coming. He knows Pangolier is pretty much the only hero who can actually kill him or stop him from doing what he wants, so he backs off. The enemy starts running away. That's the only time he starts running into the fight himself. And just casually casting spells in the fight. It's actually so good to be in these situations when you with this where you don't actually have to think too much about positioning, because you have like this Beastmaster who's like running in, who stuns people, Ember who also sets up spells for you, and you're already so high XP. The biggest thing for me about this game, what I learned, is like the scale build. I think that's pretty important. Going to a mid lane with Lightning Bolt, also buying so much stat items just so you can like right click and deny creeps more in the lane, like, and not using your arc lightning for getting creeps. I think that's kind of big. I feel like this kind of gameplay gives more disadvantage to the enemy mid laner. So if you keep on casting your bolt on the enemy, what happens is they have to keep buying healing salves, and every time they have to buy healing salves, their net worth keeps going down. And when you have the third skill leveled up, which is Static Field, it means that you don't need to spend mana using Arc Lightning. So even though like the health reduction is not a lot, it's good, because if you skill Arc Lightning, you're gonna feel like you need to use it, and then you use your mana, where you just want to keep using all your mana for a Lightning Bolt. And he used a lot of mangoes this game. I think he bought like 6 or 7 mangoes just for the laning stage. And he just keeps buying regen and mangoes, regen and mango. And it actually gives the Death Prophet a worse game. So when she wants to move her on, she doesn't have so much farm. So that's pretty epic, like the laning stage. I think that's the biggest thing to take out from here. And apart from that, like how he just stays behind the Beastmaster throughout the game and just helps him push towers and just cast spells with if anybody goes in. I think that's like a very good way to play Zeus especially. Oh, that really was 23 Savage on Kato.